Hi everybody. Welcome to today's video of XR Bootcamp, right? So today we will be taking a look into a thing that has been really neglected or has been really, we cannot say neglected, but we haven't taken a look at it, right? And that is one of the really important parts while you're developing your AR experiences, right? So that is why we are here with this very video. And today we'll be giving you an overview, and we'll be doing actually not only overview, in-depth view of how to do things, right? So the concept that we'll be talking about here is debugging. And yes, I know that you would say that we've already covered this in one of our previous videos, but that was debugging for simply game development. We did debugging itself on the Unity editor itself, right? But you all know that now when we are building AR experiences, now when we are using our foundation, Vuforia and SDKs like that, now we are using our smartphones to run our apps, right? So we do all the coding, all the development in Unity, but we then build the APKs out of it, and then things run on our smartphones, right? So there may be some scenarios where your code compiles perfectly well, but there are build time errors, right? And now how would you come to know about things that your app is giving an error or not? Okay, so let me showcase my screen. Here is Unity. So earlier what we were doing was that we were building something right here, and we were clicking on the play and seeing it in the play mode. Okay, so whenever we had some errors in the while we were in the play mode, we would see errors in the console, right? But now that we are building APKs and we are running those APKs on our smartphones, those smartphones are not connected with Unity or Unity editor in any way. So where will we see the errors that are happening, right? And this is the case that you would occur most of the times, right? You would think that you have coded everything right, you have put all the references, but still your APK doesn't function as you would think, right? And that is the time you would understand the value of getting this debugging done on your AR experiences, for your AR experiences on your smartphones. How can you debug your AR experiences with smartphones? Okay, so first of all, let me give an example of what do we mean by debugging, right? So debugging means getting to know whenever there is an error, right? Error handling, and we get to know, okay, there is an error. Otherwise, to see if our code is not working as it should. Okay, so I have opened this script up, this custom place on plane. By the way, we are looking at the very basic scene that we had created in our assets, in our own project, in the scenes that we have created custom base ARF scene, right? Let's do a quick recap also. Here we have air session origin. We have plane manager capabilities, recasting capabilities. And this is the very scene, this is a very game object, the controller. This is the very scene where we wanted to basically put a random trees. We wanted to spawn random trees on whenever the user clicks, right, on the AR planes. Okay, this is that very tutorial. So here I would go inside this custom place on plane. This is a script. I don't need to give you an overview, just to do a quick recap. We can maybe take a look at the update. So basically here we have written, whenever the user touches the screen of this smartphone, get the first ever touch, and then if the phase of that touch is just began, then do a AR recasting. As soon as that recast hits the trackable defined, that is maybe plane within bounds, just get the information of the first hit, and then place randomly any plant there. Okay, and how are we taking care of the randomness? We are using random.range, and we are selecting a index. Okay, we are selecting a random index, and then we are instantiating that very game object that is present on that random index from the array that we have. Okay, so here we have the array of AR prefabs, right? So this is basically what we're doing, and this code, everything works perfect, right? But now I have made some errors. Okay, so as to know how things will work. Okay, so if you see here, if I write anything, if I purposefully make an error here, this is an indent, like there is a bracket missing, and I save it. Okay, and I go back to Unity will compile the script here. Okay, and it will automatically show me in console that we have some errors here. Okay, so these types of errors we can already see without even building, without even running, right? These are compile time errors, right? Like, so as we can see, we are missing just a bracket here. As soon as we get that, we are all sorted, right? So these types of errors are, you can see these in the editor itself, right? But what about errors that are caused on the runtime? Okay. For example, I am purposefully not assigning. I am purposefully not assigning any trees here. Okay. If you remember, we had 4 trees assigned here, right? In our prefabs, we have made these trees, right? These were the trees: the fir, the oak, the palm, the poplar, right? These were the trees that were assigned, okay, in this controller. So I have purposefully not assigned these trees, okay? Now, what we'll do is we'll simply build this APK, right? I'll save this scene first of all. So once we have saved this scene, what we'll do is we'll go to build settings and simply click on add open scenes, and we will build this app right away. Okay. And then install it on our smartphone. So I've already done that. That's why I won't be rebuilding it. And I'll be just showcasing you the demo recording, right? The recording that I did on my smartphone. Okay. So with this very scene, what will be happening is this is what will be happening. Okay. And that is that once we start our app, our camera will open up. We can actually be able to scan the planes. We'll be actually be able to scan the planes, and this part will work perfectly fine. But as soon as we tap, as you see, I'm trying to tap here and I'm trying to place trees. As soon as we tap, nothing will happen. You won't see any trees being placed. Okay. Now, why is that so? Now, although here we know that we haven't, given the references here, okay, but imagine that this is the real life situation and you have forgotten to give the references here, and now you cannot actually find what's going wrong, right? So by seeing this very behavior, you won't come to know what's getting wrong. Why are we not seeing this? Why are we getting these errors, right? You won't come to know that. So what can we do? How can we see those errors, or how can we see the debug verbos, anything, whatever the debug logs are there, or anything like that? Okay, so for that very reason we have a tool. So as I was saying, for that very reason we have a tool. Okay, we have a package which will help us to get all the debugs or errors that are being caused, and output them in our Unity editor itself. Okay, so that is a package, and to get a package we have to go to package manager. Let's go there, and here it's already selected for Unity registry. That's great, because we want to go to Unity registry. Okay, and it will list out all the packages. As of now, it's just refreshing things. As we all know, it takes some time to refresh. As soon as this gets refreshed, what we'll do is we'll type in the search bar Android, and it shall show us this Android Logcat. So this is the very plugin that we need. Okay, you would see a install button right here. I have already installed it. That is why I'm seeing a remove button. So simply click on install. Okay, and then this plugin should just be installed in 5 to 10 seconds or so. It's a pretty small plugin, right? Now, even after you have installed, you won't see any changes here, right? So how to access this package that we have installed, the Android Logcat? Simply go on Windows, go to Analysis, and click on Android Logcat. You would see a feature, this very option pop up here, and you can click on it. You would see such a window right here. Simply drag this, and I like to put it just besides my console window. Okay. Now, what we will do is we will, take our smartphones and connect this to our PC with a wired connection. Okay. And for this to work, right, basically we'll be doing debugging, right? So for this to work, we need to enable debugging on our smartphone as well. Okay. So we need to enable USB debugging, right? So I've just captured a video right here which will show you how you can do that. So simply go on your smartphones and search for settings. Okay. As soon as you get the settings, go into settings, and you would see, probably maybe you could be a developer already. You already have the developer rights or the developer options, but I'll show you if in case you are not, then you would have to go to, find in the settings, go in the section named about phone, right? In about phone, try to find out build number, right? Build number information, or for these Redmi phones, it will be MIUI version number, right? And you have to click on this very option, like this very info, 5 to 7 times, and you will become a developer, and you would unlock a option known as developer options. So on my device, I already am a developer. So now if I click here, it will show no need, you are already a developer. Okay, but if you're in case you're not a developer, then this will show you you are like 5 steps behind, 1 step ahead to go to become a developer. As soon as you just tap on it 5 to 7 times, the developer option will be opened up. And if it shows no need, you are already a developer, something like that, that means you already have the developer rights, option enabled. So what you can do is you can simply go back and in settings, maybe try to, search for developer options or something like that. Okay, maybe you would find it here itself, but sometimes it's inside the few of the settings, as in Redmi, it is inside additional settings. So simply search for developer options. As soon as you search, you would see this developer options, pop up here. And here, what you have to do is scroll down unless and until you find this very option, that is USB debugging. Simply click on it and you should be good to go. This will give you some, danger information and whatnot, but don't worry, just go ahead with that, right? And as soon as you do that, and if you are already connected with your smartphone, this will show you like this, file transfer or whatnot, and will also show you this option, that is allow USB debugging. And you have to select allow in this or click on OK to allow USB debugging. As soon as you do that, you're good to go. Okay, so now once you have once you have connected your USB device, okay, then what it should do is it should right away come here. Okay, in the Android Lockcat, as soon as your device is connected, nothing is running on it, just the device is connected, nothing is running on it, then also it should just pop up here. Okay, for the Android Lockcat. So let me position my video right here. Yeah. Now what you have to do is you have to run the very same app that you were trying to run. Okay, and you would see that you would see some debugs coming here, but as of now we are not. Why? Because this is the place where we need to select the app. Okay, and you click on it, you would see multiple of them coming here. Okay, and if you are checking again and again, debugging again and again, you would see your package manager written here, and in front of it it would be written exited. That means these were the previous things that you were checking. So you need to make sure that you click on the one which doesn't say exited. Click on it, and now you would see that things are coming up, popping up, right? So if you even touch your phone screen, something will pop up for the other, right? So now what I'll be doing is I'll be scanning the plane. So now my plane has been scanned, and now I will tap. Okay, earlier it was not happening anything, no trees were being spawned, right? So now as soon as I tap, you would see this red thingy coming here. Okay, again I would tap, again red, because these are errors. So as and when I'm tapping, I'm getting the errors. Okay, so this way you can get an idea of what's happening. Okay, now let's try to analyze these red errors. So these yellow, these are just warnings, and there would be a lot of data which you're not concerned about. Okay, so let's go check these errors. What does these have to say? Okay, so it says the object you want to instantiate is null. That does make sense. Okay, let's read more. So it says check null argument and something like that, object instantiate. Okay, and you just have to go down and down, and at the bottom of the second last line you would see the code or the function from where this error is generating, and that is this custom place on plane. So this is the name of our script, and the function name is update. So in update, we need to find wherever we are instantiating stuff. Okay, so let's go to update, and let's see. In update, we are instantiating stuff here. We're trying to instantiate the selected index of this AR prefabs array. Okay, so we need to check here. Okay, the code looks fine, and then what we will do is we'll check the references. And as soon as we check the references, we already know that things are not good, right? So what we'll do is this way we'll get to know, okay, yeah, here is the problem, that we'll get an idea or some clue of where the problem might be, where the problem actually is. Okay, so as we saw, it is already giving us a null error that although we are saying pick up the element number 1 or element number 2 from this element, from this array, and then just instantiate it, but we don't have a game object to instantiate, and that's why it is saying null error. Right now I've put all the references right. Now if I simply save it and run it, it should work magic, okay, as it would, right? So you can simply go ahead and build this and run it on your smartphones and it would work as it should, okay? So this is debugging with the wire, right? So as of now we were debugging with the wire, but in whenever you're building AR experiences, most of the times you have to move around, right? Basically because you would have to scan the planes, maybe scan the walls and whatnot, right? So for that you have to move, and if you have a wire, it's a constraint for moving, right? It won't let you move too far, okay? So this is also very a common problem. So a solution for this is to switch on to wireless debugging, and that can be done with Android Logcat Manager as well. So now I'll be showing you how to debug this app wirelessly, okay? So again, let me remove all the references here, and then again I'll be debugging and running this app. First I'll be connecting this wirelessly with our PC, then we'll be connecting this in our logcat, and then I'll be again running the experience, and let's see if we get the errors again. If we are getting the errors and the debug messages, that means we are connected and we are debugging wirelessly. So what you have to do to debug wirelessly is, first of all, you need to be connected on the same Wi-Fi. So here, if I see, I'm connected on zero graph. Okay, so zero graph is my network's name, Wi-Fi's name. So I need to be connected on my smartphone as well. Then the next thing I need is I need the IP. So when a device is connected to a Wi-Fi or something like that, you would get a specific IP, right, for that very device. So we need to find the IP of our smartphone. So how we will do that? I've also just recorded my screen to showcase you that as well. So if you play here, and if we go ahead, so what you have to do is basically you have to go to Wi-Fi. Okay, you simply have to go to your Wi-Fi and it will show all the Wi-Fi. So first of all, we are connected with the very same Wi-Fi, zero grav here as well and zero grav here as well, right? So that is good. That is that's mandatory step. Okay, you cannot skip that. You need to be connected on the same Wi-Fi. Then you need to, in the smartphone, you need to open the properties or the settings of your Wi-Fi, whichever you are connected to. So here is an arrow. You can click on it and it will show you the properties. Here you would have to navigate to an option or a property which gives you information about IP address. Okay. As soon as you click on it, you can see here. So as we can see here, it says there was something gibberish written there, but after that it says 192.168.0.117. So you need to take a note of that, because that will be handy once you are wirelessly debugging stuff. Okay, so it again shows, I'm just showcasing you here, that it says 192.168.0.117. so that is how you need to be, that is a setup that you need to be on your phone, that is connect on the same Wi-Fi and note down your phone's IP, right? Then what you would have to do is you would have to go to terminal or maybe CMD or anything, and here you need ADB. So first you can try ADB, right? ADB devices, and depending if if your computer has installed ADB, you have directly installed ADB, this would work, otherwise it won't work, as it says here that ADB not found. Okay, so I can increase the text so that it's much more readable, right? So I guess this is much more visible. So now, although it says ADB is not there, but Unity installs its own Android SDK with itself, and we can use the ADB from there. So how to access that? Now, what you have to do is you would have to go, if you're in Mac, you have to go to this Unity button and click Preferences. Otherwise, if you're on Windows, you would have to go Edit, and just besides above or below this project settings, there would be Preferences. In Preferences, you would have to go to External Tools, and here, if you go, you would see, you have to see the Android SDK tools installed with Unity. Okay, and here it says it is installed in application, Unity, Hub, Editor, and this playback Android SDK. Okay, let's go there. So let's open Finder as we are in Mac, and here we'll go to, first of all, we'll go to applications. Then it says, it directs us to go to Unity. So we go to Unity, it says hub, we go hub, editor, the Unity version that you're, the specific Unity version that you're using, then playback engines, then Android player, and then you can go to, it says Android player, then you have to go to SDK, and here you can go to platform tools, and you would see ADB here. Okay, again open your terminal, just drag and drop this ADB here, and it will get its path. Otherwise, basically you have to put its path here. Okay, and now if I say devices, it will mention my device. So this is my device that is being connected wired, via a wire. Okay, so now we are setting up our device to debug wirelessly, but in that also, first of all, you have to connect it wireless, with a wire, not wirelessly. Okay, so we need to run this, and our device should be shown here. Okay, and then what we have to do is, again, we would have to write ADB with the, maybe with the full path. If it is not directly usable ADB, then we have to write TCP IP, and then open up a port, maybe 5555, for example, right? And this will be restarting this very port. Okay, and now what we can do is, now we can say again ADB connect. Now the IP address of a phone that we noted down in a step before, right? So if you remember, R was 192.168.0.117 colon the port that we have opened, this TCP IP port 5555, and simply click on enter. So this, if this says connected to this, that means it has successfully connected. Okay, now if you would see, we can just minimize the terminal, close this as well as this. Now if you go to Android Logcat, here you would see two devices. This is the phone's IP. Okay, and as of now you would see I'm connected wired as well as wirelessly. That is why this is showing two of them. As soon as I disconnect the wire, you would see the first option grayed out or disappear. Okay, so if I again click on it, this has been disconnected. So now my phone is wirelessly connected with this. And just to show you that it is wirelessly connected, what I'll be doing is click on this option, and it is connected. Let me clear this. Okay, this will take some time to connect. Let me clear this. And now I'll be opening the app, the AR app, right? And then in the filter here, I'll be selecting the app, the very app that we have opened. Our own apps package name would be appearing here. Just give it some time and it will be done, right? So let us give it some time to load, and then it should be able to tell us the package name. So this is taking longer than I expected, yeah, because most of the times it's just right there. So again, you can click on clear just to remove all the garbage. You can say reconnect. So this will reconnect to this very same. Okay, and this is 192.168.0.117:555, right? The one that is wirelessly connected, because we have no wire connected with it. Click on the package. Again, it's taking some time to showcase us the packages. This generally doesn't happen, but yeah, this is happening. Let us give it some time. So it should show us the packages, and we need to connect the ones, not the exited ones, right? And this is com.me UI home. We don't need that as well. We need to connect to our very own app, right? Now we have some. So this is wirelessly connected. As you can see, no wire is connected. And now I've scanned the plane, and as soon as I tap, you would see the errors come up. So here we have the error. Again, I tap, more errors will come up. Okay. So this is how we are connected to the US, to our device, and we are basically logging wirelessly to our Unity editor itself, to our Android Logcat. And now this has given us more freedom. Instead of sitting just here, I can go anywhere, right? I can go to, to that place, to that room, and maybe, just try to debug my stuff. Okay, and it will still be sending all the data here. And if we see, it is giving the very same error. Okay, no hit point, and it says the object you want to instantiate is null, right? And again, custom place on plane dot update. So this is how we do debugging. And this was really important. And that is why I covered it in a separate video, right? So now you have got an idea about how to do debugging with your own AR apps, right? So till now you might be facing some issues, but with the help of this, you would be exactly able to see what is going wrong with your AR experience. Why is it not working as you are expecting it to? Are there any errors that are happening on the runtime? Because now you're able to debug it with the Android Lockcat. Also, you've learned how to debug it wirelessly, which again is a plus point as it gives you much more freedom to move, right? So that was all from my side. I would suggest you to do and try this on your own to debug things and learn, right? This would be a very game changer, skill that you have learned debugging and doing wireless debugging, because this is really helpful. So that's all from my side. See you guys soon. Bye bye and enjoy.